Welcome to Social Jumpstart, the TV show about social media. Here's our host, Mike Wolpert.
So let's talk specifically about how to use Twitter to market your business. Imagine this. Imagine you have a retail shop, say near me in Northern California, and your shop sells cooking stuff, gourmet food items, everything from pots and pans to cookbooks, really great stuff that people love for their kitchens. So how would you use Twitter for that? Well, it's really easy. First of all, you search Twitter. Now, there's a basic search function on the Twitter homepage, but if you really want to dig down, go to search.twitter.com/advanced. And that'll take you to the advanced search page where you can search by geographic, you can search by words. So you can look for words that people have tweeted that they use in their messages, relatable. You can use that search function to find people who have the word cook or chef or foodie in their bio. And you can also narrow your search to a geographic location, let's say within 10 miles or 20 miles of your store. Let's take Tyler Florence, for example. He actually has a really cool shop in Mill Valley, California, and he's got a pretty cool internet presence. He's got a nice website, and he's on Twitter. So if I was going to be in a similar business, I would want people like that to follow me. So I'd start by looking at what guys like Tyler Florence and these other professional cooks are talking about. And I'd use Twitter as a search tool to find people who routinely talk about food, foodies, foodistas, cooking, chefs, people that subscribe to recipe sites. And I can also narrow it again geographically. So I can search for people who are in a, say, 20-mile radius. And that gives me a good base of people who are currently talking about what I'm interested in. Because Twitter is great when you're looking for folks who are already doing what you are doing. Don't go out and reinvent the wheel. Find people who already have the wheel that you're interested in and go talk to them. You don't want to use Twitter as a broadcast tool because it's not, you'll just burn people out and they'll ignore you. You want to use Twitter as a search mechanism where you're finding people that are interested in what you have to offer. And then you build some credibility with them and you build engagement with them. You talk about what is interesting to the two of you, not broadcasting what you do or a sale or this or that. You share information, move the free line, and give people some real good content. So if you are a terrific chef, share recipes on Twitter for free, and you'll build a following, and those people will retweet. You want to use Twitter the same way you use Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. These are the satellite social media platforms. So you want to meet people and engage them on Twitter and the other platforms, but ultimately you want to bring them back to your blog. You want to show them a video of what you do. You want to give and give and give and give, and you'll build a following. You'll get a group of people who like what you do, think you're smart, think you're knowledgeable, recommend you to their friends, and ultimately you're going to find customers out there. You'll engage your own customers, your current existing customers, and your objective should be to use Twitter and the other social media platforms to deliver extraordinary customer service. Then build engagement. And then, as time goes on, using the 80-20 or 90-10 rule, you can then, if you've given enough real good content, real good value, you've kind of earned the right to offer something for sale or tee up something that you're doing. Say, hey, listen, at my shop, we are having an appearance by this local celebrity chef, or we have a new line of product. Maybe this would be interesting to you. But you have to earn that right. And the way you earn that right is by continuing to put out good, solid content. So if you're connected to the right people, if you searched out the right people on Twitter by finding a couple of leaders, if you will, people that have big followings, and follow those people. Follow people. Use Twitter to search out people who are interested in what you have to say. And then start giving content, building relationships. Remember, social media is a different model than the old broken broadcast model. Social media is about building customer engagement. It's about delivering extraordinary customer service. It's about creating real relationships and turning potential customers into real loyal customers, eventually turning them into brand evangelists and having everybody help you tell your story. It's just about telling the story again and again. And to create a following of people who get value from what you do, you have to offer value. It's not all about you, it's all about them. What are they interested in? And if you can really start hitting on that, if it relates to your business and you're talking to people who are interested in what you do, but you're talking about a broad scope of material, then that makes sense. People will think, hey, that guy knows what he's talking about. That guy's kind of an expert. And when it comes time for them to purchase what you sell, why wouldn't they buy it from you? We talk about and we hear about the word content, give value. Where does that come from? What does it do? Do you really have time to write a 500-word blog post every single day? If you do, you should, and that's great value. But you can also share content. What do I mean by that? Go to some of the aggregators. A great one is alltop.com. Guy Kawasaki puts together this great site which aggregates articles from all over the internet and categorizes them. So you can search on alltop.com, you can search for food, and you'll find hundreds of articles about food and about cooking and about great chefs. Go to some of the big magazine sites, search the internet for stuff. You'll come across all kinds of content that's shared. That's super valuable for a couple of reasons. A, you're not just banging your own drum. You're not just tooting your own horn. You've found something that you think is interesting, that you think is valuable, and you're sharing it with the people in your community. And you're going to be able to broaden your scope. Why not search YouTube for a bunch of cooking videos by well-known personalities and put links up to that? Because if you find it interesting, then your community is going to find it interesting. The people that follow you are going to find it interesting as long as it's relatable and it makes sense. And when it comes to content, again, that 80-20 or 90-10 rule applies. You might have a great blog post. You want to put a link up to that. But there also are dozens and dozens of other great blogs out there about cooking. So share that stuff about whatever it is that you do. The same thing applies to any kind of business. So figure out what you do, who's going to be interested in what you do, look for them, and then engage them using content that you create and using content that you find that's of value and you want to share with people. So now that you've got some good content and you're having fun and you're finding good material from others in addition to just you to post and share with your community online, think about the engagement part. So it's not all broadcast, right? You're going to be asking people what they think. Now, on Twitter, a lot of times you can share a link, ask for a response. Also, take the time, make the time to respond when other people post stuff. Retweeting is critical. In the world of Twitter, a retweet or a forwarding of somebody else's message to your followers, it's a compliment. It means, hey, I think what you have to say is important, is meaningful, is funny, is entertaining. I think you matter. And people get that. So engage in a conversation, engage in a discussion with people on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn. Respond, interact, and engage them. And remember, it's not broadcast. You're not buying an ad in the local paper. You're not running an ad on the local radio station. What you're doing is taking charge of your marketing. This is the difference between marketing and advertising. You're marketing your business by engaging consumers, engaging customers online to deliver superior customer service, to build brand awareness, to create buzz around what you do, and ultimately, yes, to generate sales. Twitter for marketing your business can be summed up with a couple of key points. The first and most important is listen. With Twitter search, you can find people and follow people, and you'll hear what they're saying about you, about your industry, about your company, about your product, or about what you're interested in doing. But in order to hear, you have to listen first. Second, building brand awareness. But you don't use Twitter to build your brand. Your brand gets built because you're in a reciprocal relationship, in a communication with your community, meaning that you're listening, sharing, responding to what they have to say. You're part of a conversation, and through that, people come to recognize you as the expert, as somebody who knows what they're talking about, as a nice guy. as somebody who's honest and dependable, a woman who actually cares. They come to recognize your brand. If you're out there just trying to beat the drum, those days are over. Engage people. Let people see what's going on behind the scenes, because that's what it's all about. People are interested in not exactly what you do specifically. I think they're also really interested in how you do it. And everybody's going to be interested in why you do it, because passion burns. So when people see that you're so passionate about what you do, they're going to kind of get jazzed about it. And even if they don't particularly need what you sell, they might be interested in what you say. And if they're willing to pass it along, you're going to grow the impact that you have online. And eventually, you're going to grow your brand awareness. You're going to create brand evangelists, people who see what you see and want what you do. And then those people are going to help you grow your business, grow your brand, and eventually, hopefully, done right and carefully, help you grow revenue. There's a lot of ways to use Twitter for your business. There's a lot of ways to market your business. These are just a few. Go to socialjumpstart.com, download our Twitter Marketing for Business ebook, sign up for our e-newsletter, and be a part of our social footprint.
You've been watching Social Jumpstart. Join us online at socialjumpstart.com.